as one of the trends for financial sponsors to continue through 2025. I see a better balance between capital markets and M&A as compared to 2024. And our general outlook of markets is primary markets, particularly in 2025, are expected to be supportive. So we will see meaningful exits. And we will also see M&A activities for some of the cases where it makes sense to have exits through M&A route as well.
One of the trends we saw in 2024 is, for example, Hyundai India completed an IPO. Now an Indian unit of a company that's been in India for 3 decades. You feel this is a template that can replicate itself in the sense that global corporations, Indian units, are increasingly going to look at IPOs, like LG Electronics is also planning one. And would this in a way help the global corporations leverage on their Indian operations to boost their overall valuations?
I would say that if you set the clock back much longer, and if I take you back to 2003, and there are examples before that as well, you saw Suzuki Motor Corporation listing Maruti in 2003. So this trend of foreign-owned Indian companies getting listed is not a new one. When the business becomes large or meaningful, when the business is of strategic importance to the global corporation, I think you do see listing as one of the objectives being talked about. You have seen Hindustan Lever stay listed for such a long time. So from a trend point of view, I do think the valuations in India are pretty compelling because they're also sustainable, they're high compared to many of the global benchmarks.
From a global standpoint, how does the India economy story stand out? And do you feel domestic investors would continue to support capital markets?
From a growth perspective and from an outlook perspective, India seems to be one of the shining stars from a global landscape perspective. I expect this trend to particularly continue. From an M&A and capital market perspective, I will call out domestic mutual funds and domestic pools of money, saying they've really surprised us with the volume. I expect that volume to continue over not just 1 year, but over the years. And on the M&A front, I would also call out to domestic Indian strategics. They have been acquisitive, they have been ambitious, and wherever it makes sense, I think we see them bidding for assets. So I actually see a healthy competition for Indian assets between foreign private equity investors and Indian domestic strategics.
All right then.